Three things I wish I knew earlier in my football career. I'm now 24 and I've experienced almost everything. The first one, don't stay too long at your small or local club unless you're playing at a high level. I stayed too long at my local club until I was like 17 or 18 years and I was one of the better players, so I stayed. And if I look back, it wasn't the best option if I wanted to play at a higher level. At the time, I didn't know if I wanted to go pro, but I was one of the best players, so it felt really good to be one of the better players. But you have to become one of the worst in your team, because that's where you learn the most. If you're one of the worst in your team, that means you can learn a lot from other players. So try to be one of the worst in your team, not the worst, so you can sit on the bench, but play good, but also learn a lot from other players. So find a different team that plays at a higher level and learn more, because you don't want to be the best in a room. You always want to be the one that can learn the most. That's the mindset you have to take. And also, if you play at a higher level, you have more chance to go pro. From a young age, I could do a lot of skills. I was fast, I could dribble very good, and I gave people nutmegs for fun. But I just thought that if I would just play good enough, somebody across the sideline would come and say, yeah, come play for Barcelona, come play for me. And also looking at people with the long jackets, and I thought, maybe that's the scout or that's a scout, but it was just someone's father. So don't wait for the right opportunity, because that's what I did, and believe me, it doesn't work like that. You have to take matters into your own hand if you're looking to become better or want to go pro. Second, what makes you a standout player? Back then I was very little, but I could do a lot of skills, I was fast, and I could dribble really good. So that's what made me a standout player. But it was not until 2 years ago, since I started this social media, and people come up to me and say, how did you achieve those skills and where did you learn this? And you didn't show this back then, and you wasn't really like this, but I was like that, but I didn't show it enough. And it got me thinking, like, maybe I should have shown it more on the field, because that's what makes me a standout player. And you have to really think about yourself. What makes you a standout player right now? And really show that, because if you don't really show it, you will just fit in a crowd and become like every other person. So show what makes you stand out, and it will increase your chances of going pro. And number 3, connections. Even when I played at my local club and someone's father was the coach and he knew the mother of another player, that player and the son of the coach would play together in the team, and other good players were sitting on the bench. And it got me thinking, like, how is this possible? But it's all about connections. 2 years ago, I was invited to go on a pro trial in Spain because of the videos I made, and they asked my age, and at that time I was like 22 or 21. I had to film the experience of a pro trial, but then they asked me the question, or do you want to attend the trial? And I was like, why not? So you have to understand that people that were there had to pay a lot of money for this opportunity to be seen by pro scouts. This is their last chance. A full week in Madrid. Everything will be arranged, from sleeping place to eating to training, everything, clothing, everything. I got there because of social media and because I had a good connection with the manager over there. So that's also about connections. And who do you know? When we were training and I looked over at the other side, I saw the agents talking with the pro coaches. So they were probably making connections and doing everything possible to get a player noticed. So the connection must be very important. And when it was selecting day, it indeed was, because the people with agents were the people that were selected, and also very young players. And at the end of the week, I had a talk with one of the pro Spanish scouts, and he told me, you played very good, but we must select young players because they can learn a lot until they reach your age. So I totally understand. And I asked him the question, why do people with agents are more likely to go pro than people without agents? And he was like, yeah, the agent will do everything for you. Like, if I'm looking for a player, and I don't know if he's really good, the agent will come up to me and tell me everything about that player. Which club he played, his position, and other different kind of stats you need to know as a pro scout about that player. So take this in consideration. I hope these 3 lessons will help you further in your football career, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.